First Family, First Story project is timely, but also for the Filipino community, I think it will transform the community, bring knowledge and also self-awareness to it. It is one of the most fastest growing communities of Asians in Vancouver. But aside from that, the Filipino-Canadians have a rather unique history because although most of the Filipinos came after 1970 in Vancouver, the Filipino presence in North America has evidence of over 450 years of Asian North American history. Why is there very little mention or documentation of Filipinos in Canada? The earliest that I found was in the 1930s, and it was somewhere around Winnipeg that a group of Filipino musicians crossed the border to play in some local salons. We've been working with Asian Heritage Month for a long time. It's been around for 18 years. And it's never crossed my mind, but there was always this problem of why all you see is the older immigrant groups, you know, the Chinese, the Japanese, and South Asians. Well, granted that they've been here over 100 years, and they've had an opportunity to develop a history and a sense of identity and had an opportunity to document their history. Why all these other groups from Southeast Asia, you know, the Vietnamese, Thai, Filipinos, and other groups have yet to emerge. Yet at the same time, the Filipinos have an incredible, strong, and vibrant history. If you look across the border, there are Filipino congressmen, there are Filipino boxers, there are Filipinos in sports, there are Filipinos in all over the place. Yet in Canada, there seems to be little awareness of this. In the last 40, 50 years, the Filipino community here has had incredible strides. They've done a lot of really important things. So I think that that's really what we're going to try to examine through the First Families. And it's also very interesting that you can actually go back in time to a point in immigration where the First Families, most of the people are still alive, and can share those experiences. And I think that's a really unusual opportunity for us. And these are pioneers. I mean, believe it or not, this is really landmarks in any ethnic communities. That is a very important landmark. And they can actually become the role models for our community. They can tell their stories, explain the hardships and the struggles they had to do to overcome you know, the kind of inequalities and to take their place in the community.
We hope to give the people, the community, identity about themselves. We hope to give their children something to look at and say, hey, we have done and we have accomplished many things through our ancestors, through the people who first came here. These are our overall achievement as a community.
And in the Filipino community, there are remarkable people that have done a lot of remarkable things. And I think that that's what we're going to try to look at recapturing, is to say, who are these people? And a lot of them are unsung heroes. People that have dedicated their lives towards the cultural arts, dedicated their lives towards making things better for us in Canada. And we have to celebrate these. I think this is the right moment in the Filipino community. You have all these newspapers, you have all these media, you have people that are inquisitive, and you have people that are thinking beyond just simply being Filipino, but thinking about themselves as a contributor to the whole Canadian mosaic. I think this is a collective effort. It's a collective consciousness, and I don't think that the Filipino First Family, First Story project is going to be any different from all the other ones that we're going to do. We're working with the Indonesian community, we're going to look at the Persian community, we're going to be looking at the Korean community. All these communities, collectively, when they bring their experiences together, you're going to see a collective voice, and also you're going to see parallels between the histories and how they connect and intersect. Each one will learn from each other, because they are all part of the colonial history, part of what has happened to bring them to the present, and then how did they all come to Canada, and what kind of things have they done since. Once you have a consciousness and you're aware, then you're compelled to go out and seek out and find ways to express that and find ways to make sense of it all. And I think that that's really what we want communities to do, to come to terms with what they find but also in some ways evolve consciousness, a Canadian consciousness about the information and then direct their community towards it.